Hi, I'm Roger, and welcome to Game KLAX. This is the second in a series that I'm putting together. I actually taped this several months ago, and life's busy. I didn't get around to putting an audio on it, and I'm trying to do that today. What I'm going to show you in this video is the super warp at level 6. There are two super warps in the game. One is level 6, the other's in level 11. Both super warps will bump you up 45 levels. The way you get a super warp is to create an X on the board. And you can see I got from the bottom right corner, I got a couple blues coming up. Bottom left corner, I had a couple yellows. Now I got a couple greens coming up. That's the bottom half of an X. And once you create the X, you drop a wild tile in the middle, and you can score your super warp. Problem is that you generally don't have a wild tile. They come when they come, and you can't expect them. So the strategy is to stall until you get a wild tile, and that's exactly what I'm doing right here. I half build that X pattern, and then I stall until the wild card comes. Down to 4 KLAXes, as you can see at the very bottom of the board left before I'm basically finished up with this level, and I better get a wild tile before those 4 get used up, or basically that's the end of the round, and I miss a super warp. To get the maximum score, there's a wild tile that's flashing up there on the right side. You drop it in the middle, and there's your super warp. Going back to the maximum score, you get scores. It's the number of KLAXes you can create in the different directions, the vertical, horizontal, and slanted, times the score of each one of those KLAXes, the aggregate of those scores. So to maximize the score, what you want is not only the diagonal, but you also want the horizontals and the vertical KLAXes as well. So what you end up with is a little more, for maximum score, a little more sophisticated than just an X. You end up with basically it's a Union Jack. It's you have things in horizontal and vertical dimensions or directions, and it's kind of funny because in KLAX the scoring is very similar. The basic scoring designs are like British flags. You have the Union Jack, which you use that for level 6 and up to 100. And for the lower levels, where you use what you could call a T, but it's really more sophisticated than a T, you use what's the basic shape of St. George's flag from the Crusades, which is another British flag. So anyway, what I'm doing here is simply trying to run up the score. As you can see, I'm doing it with the Union Jack again, creating a Union Jack type shape. Again, I'm stalling as much as I can until I get a wild tile, and really comes down to the 3 different modes you have in KLAX. One is scoring, which I'm about to do because I got the wild tile. Another is stalling, which is waiting for the wild tile or waiting for the tile you need. And then the last one is just surviving, because sometimes the tiles come so fast you don't really care about scoring. You just want to get through the level. So 3 S's, and that's what they are. But simply here, I'm just creating a figure, hope for wild tile, and stall until I get it. Wild tile was there, but first level, didn't really mention at the beginning, but you had to get, I think it's 30 KLAXes, and get those 30 KLAXes leveled over. This one, if you look at the bottom, it says you have to get 13 diagonals. There are levels that you have to get as many as 20 diagonals. So this is actually pretty, not a particularly hard level. Though the diagonal levels are the hardest of the levels. Each game, KLAX comes in sets of 5s, 1 through 5, levels 1 through 5, 6 through 10, etc. And they follow general patterns. The first one is generally a number KLAX. The second one is diagonals. The third is just number of tiles that you play. Fourth is high score. You have to meet a certain score. And the last one's usually horizontals. And hardest of those, I find in general, is the diagonals. The second hardest is generally the number of KLAXes because they come pretty fast. But this level, what I'm saying, level 51, and it's a lot easier than some of the higher levels. Like I think the hardest levels in the whole game are, I'd have to say, 87 and 88 are just terribly hard levels, and you just have to survive in those levels. This level, on the other hand, is not so hard, so I'm going for Union Jacks and going for the high score. Whereas like the higher level, I wouldn't be trying to score at all. I'd just be trying to do the most basic strategies to stay alive, which is just just vertical, 5 different vertical KLAXes, no elaborate patterns. So, but I'm down to 4 diagonals, and I just messed up. You can tell by my saw. But it didn't really matter. It was just a scoring error. It didn't cause me to drop any tiles. So no big deal. And there I wrapped it up and got enough diagonals to finish that level off. The next level, like I mentioned earlier, is going to be number of tiles. You're going to have to get 90 tiles to get through. You can see that down at the bottom. This is level 53. And another thing you might notice is that when you start these levels with tiles, you are given certain tiles, kind of junk tiles at the bottom that you have to work down through. That happens for some other types of levels, like the horizontals. Sometimes you'll end up with junk tiles down there you got to work through. Anyway, I think you probably listened to me enough, and hopefully you learned something. I could throw a few more pointers out there, like for example, you want to keep the wild tiles in the bottom paddle as much as possible while you're playing, things like that. But I'll save most of the tips till later in the series. I've already taped the next entry in the series. I taped it several months ago. It's the Super Warp at level 11. And thank you for watching. And if you have any comments, I'm very interested. Please comment. Let me know. I'll improve this series. I plan to have several more in the series, but I just got to get the time to do it. Anyway, have a great day, and hope you keep watching my series. Thanks.